Good day everyone, you're welcome back to this channel. In today's video, I will be showing you how to draft a simple basic bodice pattern. And trust you're going to enjoy this tutorial. All you need to do is just to take your time and watch this video to the end. Thanks. So I will be working with the front piece of this bodice pattern, and here is my craft paper. So the first thing here is my center front for this front piece. So I'm going to place my ruling tape at the edge here. So I mark 1 inch downwards. I'll also extend it to the other side here. I mark 1 inch downwards. So the next thing, I'm going to connect these points together using my ruler. Can you see? I've connected the points together. So this this line is my 0 line. So it is on this line that I'm going to impute my shoulder line and also my neckline. But before I work on the neckline, the next thing I'm going to do right now is to place the ruling tape on this 0 line. Then I mark the length I will be using. I will be making use of half cut. So an half cut is what you use to attach the down part to give you a gown. So for this is 16 inches plus 1 inch for my hemmer allowance. So I will have the total of 17 inches. So I'm going to mark 17 inches right here. Now, if yours is a blouse, it means you are going to extend this to the hip line. But in this case, like I said, I will be making use of the half cut. That's why I'm stopping at the waist or a region. So the next thing right now is to quickly mark my bust line. And for this, my bust line is 10.5 inches. So I have it right here. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is just to extend what I have here to the other side here. Now the bust line 10.5 inches, then the full length of this half cut 16 plus 1, that gives me 17 inches. Can you see? So the next thing I'm going to do right now is just to connect this line, which is going to be my reference lines. So I connect these points together from the center front. So I also connect this one, which I have at the base. So as you can see, I have my reference line already. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to mark my neckline. So in this case, I will be using the 3x3 standard neckline standard. We have different kinds of neckline standard. We have 3x4, we have a 4x3. It depends on what you want. But for this, for the purpose of this tutorial, I will be making use of the 3x3 neckline standard. So the width, I have 3 inches. That is the width of the neckline. Then the depth, I also have 3 inches. So I mark 3 inches. So I extend it to this the center front. I mark 3 inches to give me the square shape. So I'm going to connect these points together and connect it up on the neckline. So I'm going to connect this also together. Can you see? So the next thing I'm going to do right now, if you are using a free hand, all you need to do at this point here, this diagonal, you're going to mark 1.25 inches inward or 1 inch inward. So it's between 1 to 1.25 inches inward. So it is on this point I'm going to place my French curve to curve the neckline. So I place it like this. So here is my neckline. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to quickly also determine, or I'm going to also impute that of the back. This is the front neckline. That of the back, the width is still the same, that is 3 inches. For the depth of the neck, of the back neckline, I'm going to use just 1 inch. Here is the 1 inch. So I'm going to connect this together. Can you see? This is for the back, while this is for the front. So I'll quickly now go to the shoulder line. For this, the shoulder line is 15 inches, and 15 divided by 2 gives me 7.5 inches. So 7.5 inches, I'm going to place it on the zero line, and I mark 7.5 inches here. So at this point, I'm going to come down by 3/4 of an inch or 1 inch, but I will be using 3/4 of an inch. You could make yours 1. So from this point, this is now my shoulder slope. So from this point, I'm going to connect straight to the neckline. Can you see? So right now, the next thing I'm going to do right now is to determine my armhole line. And to determine, to know your armhole line, there is a simple formula you need to add at this juncture. And the formula is your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. So in this case, I have the bust to be 36. 36 divided by 6 give me 6 inches, and 6 inches plus, that is the bust divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. Now the bust is 36 divided by 6, which gives me 6 plus 1.5 inches gives me the total of 7.5 inches. So that's just the simple formula to apply. So I will be marking from this shoulder slope, I will be marking 7.5 inches downwards. So here is my 7.5 inches downward. Can you see the point? So now I'm going to connect this point horizontally. So if you don't want it to bend, or you don't want to have a slant horizontal line, what you need to do is that the 3/4 of an inch here, you add it to this 7.5, so that you can take it also from here downwards, so that you have a straight one. But with this, I can get a perfect line, horizontal line. So this line becomes my chest line. This is my chest line. CL. Why this is my bust line? BL. Then this is the waist line. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is just to connect this line to meet this on the chest line. Sorry. So this is where it has to stop, on the chest line. So now I'm going to make the curve. I'm going to make the curve on the armhole line. So what I'm going to do right here, from this same shoulder point, the shoulder slope, I'm going to mark what I have here. You know, it's 7.5. So I'm going to look for the midpoint of this 7 point of this line, and to make it easy, I will just place my hand on this 7.5. Then I divide this tape rule by two equal parts, so you can see the crease line. So I'm going to place the ruling tape on the armhole line. That crease line, that's the point I'm going to indicate my point as my center point for this armhole line. So from there, I'm going to come in by 3/4 of an inch. So I come in 3/4 of an inch. So from here, so I'm going to make a curve from here. Make a curve. Can you see? So this one now is the front armhole line. It's a new armhole line, but for the front. Now for the back, it's just to place it on the original armhole line. I will just place it like this. This is the center point for the armhole. You just place it like this. So this is the back armhole curve, while this is the front armhole curve. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to determine my dart line. And in determining my dart line, I will have to consider the bust span. And what is the bust span? The bust span is a nipple from a distance between one nipple to the other. And in this case, it's 7 inches. And 7 inches divided by 2 gives me 3.5. So I'm going to add 0.5 to it. So giving me 4 inches. So from the center front, I'm going to place on the bust line, I'm going to place my ruling tape and I mark 4 inches inward like this. So I have it here. So I also come to the waistline. I also mark the same thing, that is 4 inches inward from the center front. Can you see? So this line point, I'm going to connect these points together using my ruler. So this is my dart line. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is on this dart leg, this waistline, dart line, I'm going to come out by 0.5. Then from this also, I also come inward 0.5. So 0.5 on my right hand side and 0.5 on my left hand side, out and in. So I will now go to the bust line. I come down by 1 inch. So right now I'm going to connect this to this dart leg, both on the right hand side and also on the left hand side. Can you see? So this is my dart. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to impute the circumference. So I'm going to start from here with the bust circumference. So I'll be placing my ruling tape on the chest line, not on this, because what I mark here is exactly what is going to be here. So in order not to confuse, it's better for me to place it on the chest line. So this bust circumference for this is 36 inches. 36 divided by 4 So it gives me 9. So I'm going to mark 9 inches and I have it here. So the seam allowance, I'm going to add 1. You add 1 or you can add 1.5, but for this I will be adding just 1 inch. So I move straight to the waistline. The waist for this body pattern is 30 inches, and 30 divided by 4 gives me 7.5. So I'm going to mark 7.5 right here. Now you consider this dart. I'm going to eliminate this. So I have 0.5 here, 0.5 here, which gives me 1 inch. So I'm going to add it back. I have it here. Then plus seam allowance. Now the seam allowance which I used on the chest line was 1 inch. So that's exactly what I'm going to also use on the waist line. So right now I can now connect this together. Can you see? So right now the next thing I'm going to do right now is to cut it out. Now you can see I've got my armhole curve for the back and also my neckline for the back. So the next thing I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to cut it out. After that, after cutting it out, then I'm going to place this very one on another fresh pattern paper, and I also transfer it to that paper. So as you can see right here, I've transferred what I have on the front piece to another fresh pattern paper, and this becomes my back piece. Now if you look at it very well, you will discover that I've provided a space for the zipper allowance, and I came in by 1 inch, and this is the zipper allowance. Zipper. So and the next thing I'm going to do right on this back piece, and this becomes my center back. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to indicate my dart line. So I'm going to exactly what I did on the front piece is what I will be doing right here. So from this line, I'm going to mark 4 inches inward. So, and I place it, this is the chest line, this is the bust line, and this is the waist line. So I'm going to place from the center back, I place my measuring tape and I mark 4 inches inward on the chest line. Unlike the front piece, I place it on the bust line. So I also come to the bust line, I mark the same thing, 4 inches from the center back. Here is it. So I come to the waistline, I also do likewise. From the center back, I mark 4 inches inward. So right now I'm going to connect these points together using my ruler. Can you see? So this is my dart line. So on the leg of it, the base of it, I'm going to mark 0.5 outward on both sides. Here also 0.5. So then I come to this chest line, I mark 1 inch downwards. So I can now connect the leg of this dart to this point here. So I also go to the other one, the other side, and I do likewise. I connect. So you can see I'm through. The only thing left is for me to insert my seam allowance on the shoulder line, the neckline, and also on the armhole. Remember, I've incorporated the seam allowance, so I don't need to add any seam allowance. And also to the base, I've done that initially when I work with the front piece. So the only thing I'm left with is to insert my seam allowance, like I said, on the armhole, the shoulder line, and the neckline. So I'm going to come up here by 0.5 inch. I also come to this place. I mark 0.5 upwards or less than that. I connect this. I also come here. I mark likewise. Can you see? So I connect like that. Then from here I extend this, because you could make yours 0.5, but I will be making less than that. Like quarter of an inch is okay by me. Then I extend here. Then I connect. I want to believe that you have found this tutorial helpful. If you have, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Click on the liking button just to appreciate this work. Then I will use my ruler here to connect these points together. So I will also do likewise, but I will use my French curve here. And connect. So the next thing is to cut this off. So after I've cut this off, I will now come back to the front piece. I will now do the cutting. Remember that this line, this curve, is for the front, so I'm going to cut this off, but I'm going to add my allowance just like I did here. So by the time I come back, I will show you. So as you can see being displayed, I went ahead to cut the needed part to cut away, and this is what I have so far. So here is my back panel for this bodice pattern, while here is my front panel. Now once I've included the zipper, it means I'm going to cut 2 pieces of this. Now this front one is going to be cut on fold. This place, I'm going to cut this place on fold, this side here. So it means there is not going to be any joining here. So the next thing I'm going to do right now, if you look at this center, this back piece, in order to avoid the bulge at the back, I will just place my ruler like this. So I'm going to remove this from the base, so that I will not experience any bulge at the back. So I will place it like this. Then I mark it upwards. So I'm going to remove this so that there won't be any bulge at the end of the day. So I'm going to cut this off. And that's why, if you don't do this, that's why you see some clothes at the back, it won't relax well. It doesn't relax well. It's as a result of this. So I need, as a result of not removing this not considering what I'm doing right now. So in order to have a very flat one at the back, you have to do this. So far so good. I've come to the end of this tutorial. Like I said earlier on, I believe you have found this tutorial very helpful. If you have, please kindly hit the liking button to appreciate this work. So if you have any question, kindly drop your question in the comment section. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial so far. So let's call it a day till I come your way again. Bye for now.